G'day everyone, and welcome to another video. In this one we leave Perth after our time there and we start to make our way towards the Nullarbor. From Norseman we fuel up and get everything ready, and we free camp all the way from Perth across to where we finally finish up in the video, and that is Ceduna. I'm Mick and this is Sally. Together we've been caravanning Australia since the 1980s, and more recently we started to put the videos together just to show you some of what we see out there. There's a lot to see in Australia and we hope you enjoy what we have here to show you. Joining us on the big lap with their own van are our good friends Michael and Janice. You can follow us on our trips via the following social media platforms. Now leaving Perth, and we started to head east, heading towards Nullarbor, and reality was starting to set in, that our trip was almost over. We were now travelling with blue skies, but we didn't expect that to last long because the forecast for our trip over the Nullarbor was going to be wet, wet, wet. We couldn't go past Cunderton without stopping to have a look at the Ettamogga pub. By the time we got out of Perth today, time seemed to get away pretty quickly, but never mind, we were soon pulling into our rest area. We were going to spend our first night. G'day everyone, and we're at Hines Hill Rest Area and left Perth now, so heading across towards the Nullarbor to start heading home, and only here for one night, then we move on tomorrow morning. We drove through the rest area and worked our way out towards the back, and luckily for us we were the only ones here. It's a reasonably small area out the back, but it was ideal for what we wanted. The ground was a little bit wet underfoot, but as long as we were careful where we walked, mud was no issue. We weren't camped very far from the railway line actually. Now I don't know how many trains ran up and down the line during the night, but we did not hear one. It was getting late in the afternoon and it was time to get the fire going. The cold air was starting to creep down, and with that we were going to have a wood-fired barbecue this evening for our evening meal. With all the scrappy dead wood that was laying about, it gave us plenty of wood for the fire. After a cold night, we started to think it was time to head back north and not keep going east, but never mind, we continued on our merry way over towards the east, and our travelling days were now starting to get a little bit longer. Back in December of 2007, there was an extreme bushfire in this part of the area, and unfortunately 3 truck drivers lost their lives, and in honour of their memory there is this monument here on the side of the road in the location to where it all happened. As our day progressed, the clouds started to increase and the weather forecast of more rain became quite evident. It was a quick stop here in a parking bay for lunch, before we continued on. Our original plans were to continue on here and not do this right-hand turn, and that would have taken us to Kalgoorlie, but time is starting to run out for us. We had deadlines to be home by, and so we did that right-hand turn and gave Kalgoorlie a miss for this trip. G'day everyone, and we've moved on this morning, but we've come into some wet weather. It was on the forecast to happen, but never mind. We're actually here for one night, and it's at a spot on the, it's a free camp on a rest area. It's where the road that comes down from Kalgoorlie to go to Norseman, and it's where that meets up with the road from Perth to Norseman. I'm on the corner there, here for one night, and hopefully we don't get bogged in the morning when we try and get out of here, but should be alright. Let's keep our fingers crossed, eh? Even though during the day there appeared to be as many caravans travelling on the road as what there was when we were on the west coast coming down to Perth, but in these parking bays we were the only ones here again on this evening, and there was just not the numbers free camping that there were when we were up north. Well, we managed to get out of the parking bay without getting bogged. We made our way to Norseman, and it was then that we started to head east and do that trek across the Nullarbor. For each day that we travelled now, since we got on the northern side of Perth, and during that stay in Perth we had rain of some sort, and it continued on, but we arrived here at Norseman, and it's there that we're going to fill with water and prepare for that trip that was going to take us across the Nullarbor. We purchased tokens, and tokens were $2 each, and that would give us a quantity of 60 litres per token. From Norseman, we started to make our way towards Balladonia, and it's there that we refuelled, and with that, the intention was to get all the way through to Eucla, where was going to be the best and the cheapest fuel as we started to cross the Nullarbor. It was almost Caravan City here at Balladonia, but that's a reflection on the quality of service that you receive from the roadhouse. When we arrived at the 90-mile straight sign, we thought we'd take the customary photo, but no sooner we arrived and there was people everywhere. There was just, it was bedlam. A lot of people say they enjoy the Nullarbor, and Sally and I certainly enjoy crossing the Nullarbor and doing all the free camping. Yet a lot of people also say that it's one of the most boring drives in Australia, but each to their own, and here we are setting up again for another night on the Nullarbor. G'day everyone, and we now made it to Baxter's rest area, and we're here for one night, but that's going to be the way that everything's going to be now until we get to Sojourner, which is not that far away. They'll all be single night stops, but we just had a shower of rain and now the sun's out, and hopefully most of the rain's going to be behind us now and we'll get a little bit more sunshine. We'll see how we go. Baxter's rest area is our first campsite, where we've shared it with other campers, but it's a huge camping area, this one, and there's plenty of room for everyone to spread out and not even be able to easily see where your next door neighbour's camping. With the roads in this parking bay taking you so far out the back, there's plenty of area to go out there and go well away from the trucks, so the noise of any trucks running with fridges or the likes just will not worry you. Today was going to be another big day on the road because it was our plans as we travelled along to call into each of the roadhouses as we came up to them. The rain clouds were still hanging about above, and as we got into Cagoona, we could see a lot of water laying on the ground that obviously was there from the rain the night before we got there. One of the biggest advantages of carrying a UHF radio in the vehicle is when you see wide loads like this coming along, the pilot vehicle can give you plenty of warning to get off the road and wait for them to go past. The second roadhouse that we reached was Cocklebiddy, and it too, like Cagoona, appeared as though it had received rain on the night before. If you're ever visiting Cocklebiddy for any reason, go out the back and have a look at the two wedge-tailed eagles. They are rescue birds. They've been injured by traffic travelling on the Nullarbor, and they now live their lives in the cage out the back. We're now heading down the Madura Pass, and when we get to the bottom as we descend down, we turn here and go into the Madura Roadhouse. Madura, like all of the roadhouses along the Nullarbor, has got restaurants. You can get food there, meals, fuel, and of course accommodation. With the rain clouds still hanging around and a slight shower of rain, we continued on, looking for somewhere to camp for the night. G'day everyone, and we've made it to our rest stop for the night. We're actually 11 kilometres west of Mundarabilla, and I'll put a link up in the top as I normally do. I'm not going to try and pronounce it, but we stopped further back, some 30 odd k's before this one, and the wind was just too severe. It was just about blowing you off your feet. So we made it up to here, and we found this one which has got a lot of trees, so that gives us a real good windbreak. So very nice here at the moment, and just one night and moving on tomorrow. This is quite a large campground, this one, and there were a lot of other campers here sharing the campground with us during this night. For some reason there is areas out the back that have been closed off. You can't drive out as far as what you normally would. Not quite sure why, but still a very large area to camp in. With so much area to choose from further back from the road, of course this reduces any road noise during the night. It was going to be a big day for us today, because today was the day that we were going to enter back into our home state of South Australia. We're going to have a look at the head of the Bight and hopefully see some whales. As we pulled in here to the Mundarabilla Roadhouse, we were now travelling in blue skies. It was windy, but at least the wind was blowing us home and not driving hard into it. It wasn't long and we started to make our way up the Eucla Pass, and then we turned into Eucla where we refuelled before heading towards the border. If you're like us, on all of our travels on this trip, we've used web pages to find where the cheapest fuels are, and I'm sure a lot of other people do the same, because this one area here is very popular for caravanners to refuel as they're making their way along the road. Now, going across the border, there's no fruit fly check here, it's straight through, and we retain and use all our fruit and veggie up until the point where we reach Ceduna. Border Village is a very popular truck rest area. A lot of changeovers with trucks are done here, and the fuel, unfortunately for us caravanners, much more expensive than what it was at Eucla. Not far east from Border Village is your first real sight of the beautiful blue water out in the Australian Bight. And we pulled in for a quick look. Windy as, but the wind doesn't change the view. There are two lookouts that we wanted to visit on our return trip here, and that gives you views of the Bunda Cliffs. This is not the best one, the one to come is the better one of the two, but at the same time, still well worth going into both of them. I can't recall the exact distance from the first lookout that we went to where we're turning in to go to this one now, and this one's the better of the two, as I mentioned just a moment ago, but it is a reasonable drive, and when you get there it is absolutely spectacular to look at. Sally and I really enjoy these. Perhaps it's not for everyone, but for us it's great. Had we been here an hour or two earlier, we might have got the sun shining on the walls of the Bunda Cliffs, but even now, so spectacular and pretty to look at. From the Bunda Cliffs, it was onto the Nullarbor Roadhouse, where we stopped for a quick break. I was a little surprised to see a padlock on the old Nullarbor Roadhouse building, the little tin shed type thing. We were pushed for time because we wanted to go down to the whales, the building here. That one was padlocked, so I couldn't go in to see it at all. But now we're going down to have a look at the Whale Watch Centre at the head of the Bight and hopefully catch some whales. As we arrived here at the Whale Watch Centre, plenty of caravans here taking up a lot of car parks, but we found a suitable piece of area that we could park upon and went inside to purchase our tickets. It was late August when we were here at the Whale Watch Centre, and there were absolutely whales everywhere, and for the small cost that it does cost to get in and have a look at this, I'm not sure exactly what all the cost figures were, but they're on the internet, and it's well worth spending the money because you come down here and a little bit hard to pick up on the camera, but you get so close to the whales as they're just out there frolicking and playing in the water. It's something that you can't do anywhere else that I'm aware of. Our day was starting to run out, and it was time to push on, and try and find somewhere to camp for the night. We are all set up 21 kilometres west of Yalata and come across the border today, here for one night, and it's in a free camp, but not a bad one at that, but getting quite a few in here now, and off again in the morning and heading for Sojourner tomorrow. The area that we camped at here is a big flat area out the back of the main parking area. It's very suitable for a night that we're going to spend here, just a single night. It does exactly what we want. You used to be able to go out the back and camp further out the back, but for whatever reason that's now been fenced and all closed off. After a great night's sleep, we're now back on the road, this time heading for the township of Sojourner. When we reached the township of Penong, we went down and had a look at the Windmill Museum display, and it's got everything that you want to know or want to look at in regard to windmills. These windmills were once part of the Australian landscape, but of course with the invention of solar, their demise is inevitable. For those that want, you can even have a swing and pump water at the wishing well. As we arrived at Sojourner, we pulled into the fruit fly inspection area. We were fine, we knew what we had to do, and it was a friendly team of staff there that wished us well as we travelled on. Well, we've made it to the Sojourner Caravan Park, and we're here sheltering out of the wind, so we will wind this video up here, and in the next one we'll start off here at Sojourner, and then as we make our way across the top of Eyre Peninsula. So until that video does go up, you take care and look after yourself.